Ashe County Oral History Project, an interview with Marty Testerman. Interviewer Clarice Weaver, June the 2nd, 1981. Marty, I wanted to get your full name. What is it? Martha what?
Martha Lou Testerman.
Martha Lou. And I want to ask your daddy's name and your mama's name.
Gilbert Byrne.
Gilbert what?
Byrne.
Byrne.
B-U-R-E-N.
Uh-huh.
Byrne. And Jessie Lou Testerman.
Jessie Lou. So he's named after your mama, was he? Martha Lou and Jessie.
Kinda.
Yeah. Now, do you have brothers and sisters?
I have two brothers, one named Robert Eli and one named Gilbert Guy.
Gilbert Guy.
Yeah,
And you
he's
have
a preacher.
Gilbert Guy's a preacher. And you're the only girl. Yeah, well. Now, where'd you grow up? Where were you born and when? You're young yet. You can tell me when.
I was born in 1959, September 24th. And I was born here in Jefferson. But we all lived in Ohio. We were down on a vacation. And I decided to come then. And so I grew, I was about 7 years old when we moved down here.
From Ohio?
Right, yeah.
Marty, you're too young to know this history that we're dealing with. But the reason I wanted to interview you is because you've had a disability or a handicap that has been a struggle for you, and I wanted to talk to you about that. Maybe we could get some information and how you've gotten along. Of course, when I first met you, you were not in a wheelchair at that time, but you were walking with the aid of a person or two.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to go back even farther than that, and to start with the name of the disease or the whatever it is that has been your handicap. What is the name of it?
Frederick's ataxia.
Frederick's ataxia. And there is no known cure. I mean, they have no medication that arrests it or cures it. Is that right?
No, there isn't. There's a drug that slows it down. They've just come out, but it doesn't cure it.
Now, when did it manifest itself in you?
Well, when I was born, I think I had rheumatic fever, and that triggered it off right then. And it usually doesn't show until you're like between 10 and 15, but it showed I couldn't walk for a while because it's hard for me to learn to walk or speak. And then when I did, I staggered.
Now, was this rheumatic fever when you were a baby? Oh.
Yeah, and then it triggered off the Frederick's ataxia.
Well, for goodness sake. So you grew up with it?
Yeah.
You didn't say.
Been a partner.
Been a partner. Did you said you had some problems, or you staggered a little when you walked? Was that it?
Yeah. First it was, I didn't stagger. It was just the way I picked up my feet. They were real heavy, and I would have to pick them up, real high. It seemed to me like high. It was high, but I could just barely get them off, it seemed, off the floor. And so then I began to stagger, and then my joints got stiffer, and it was hard for me to run. And it was, soon I stopped running altogether. I think I was in the 5th or 6th grade when I quit running. And I staggered worse and worse. And then I got real sick with something, a flu or something, laid in bed. That made me weak. And then I couldn't walk without help. I would fall over. And then so I needed somebody to help me to walk, to lead me. And then I had an operation, and after that I couldn't walk hardly at all. So.
And was the operation connected with your disability, with your disease? What kind of
I had scoliosis. That's where the back spine was bent in two places because the muscles in my back weren't strong enough to keep it straight. So they put two rods in my back, Harrington rods, and straightened it out.
What kind of rods?
Harrington,
Harrington. And are they on either side of your spine?
both sides. They're the longest rods in the history of North Carolina.
Really?
I have something to brag about.
Yeah, so that keeps you erect like that. Well, now, when was it diagnosed as Frederick's ataxia?
That was not till about six years ago, I think. About 6
Now,
years
how
ago.
old are you now?
21.
So,
That's when I was about, 6 or
15
7. It is about 7, I guess, 7 years.
ago. Well, did you know something was wrong, or did your parents know something was wrong, or did you think that it was just a bit clumsy, or what was your...
Well, at first, they thought I was clumsy, yeah. And then they started noticing, because people said kids don't do that. And they started taking me to the doctor. No harm. They thought it was just because my feet were a little curved in or out. When I stood, I was pigeon-toed or something. And so they thought that's all it was. And then I come down here, and I was going to school, and I met a nurse, and she saw me walking. So she said, there's something wrong with that kid.
And was this at your public school?
Yeah, and they sent me to a hospital in Winston.
The school did.
Well, they sent me to see a doctor come from Charlotte. School did, and the doctor sent me to Winston.
To Winston. And was that when it was diagnosed?
No.
No?
That was when I was a little kid. They didn't know what it was because it's a rare disease. And so I think they called it Korean ataxia.
What?
Korean ataxia.
Korean ataxia.
I think so. And they had no idea what it was. They told me I couldn't get much worse, and then I would start getting better. And they kept telling me that I guess about 6 years, 7 years. They'd tell me, you'll get better. Don't worry, you're not going to get much worse. And then they dropped the bombshell. Hey, you're never going to get better.
It was a bombshell, wasn't it? Now, of course, you're being a real young gal who undoubtedly had the same desires that all young girls have, and who likes to get out and go. And did you find this difficult to deal with?
Oh, yeah. Very difficult. I mean, here I was, and I couldn't go out unless somebody was with me. And then my mother and father didn't exactly like to go to movies and stuff like that. So, I mean, I was stuck right there in the house. And I didn't like many people my age, so I stayed away from kids.
Well, it was hard for you to understand what was going on, and I'm sure your friends couldn't quite understand what was going on. That made it difficult not to be accepted and not to know what was going on. If the doctors didn't know, you wouldn't have known, would you?
No, it was real hard because people just kind of... When you see somebody different, you're afraid you'll say something or hurt them. And so you just back off. You don't go around them. And so here I was left on the porch, left there and nobody come around because nobody knew how to talk to me. That made me feel even worse because I didn't know what was going on with me, and they didn't know what was going on. And I felt like nobody cared and nobody wanted to help me. It just made me turn from the world, like you carry everything your own self. They don't want to care if you just hurt yourself. They don't want to care if you just fell and broke your neck. Just keep it to yourself and suffer.
So that was the way you sort of handled it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, now you were walking until when?
I guess is when I was about 13, I guess. I got real sick about then. It was the last of the school year. It was about Easter. I was in the 9th grade, and it was, the doctor told me, he said, just keep her out of school, And so I stayed out for like 6 weeks. There's 1 week left of school, and I knew I had to go back or they'd keep me in the 9th grade. And I didn't want that, so I made myself go, but it like scared me to death thinking about it. And all of a sudden I'd start crying, thinking about staggering around in front of people and falling, having them make fun of you, call you names. It really scared me half to death. And my aunt even gave me a nerve pill because I was so jumpy. It's unbelievable.
Who did give you your
My aunt gave me one of her nerve pills. She said I was going to make myself sick if I kept on thinking about it. I just about did. But then I went back, and sure enough, some of the kids made fun of me, got behind me, and would talk, and say, look at that old stagger up there, Stagger-Loo, and that drunk and stuff like that. So it really bothered me. And then, the last day, I went and fell right in front of everybody. I was standing there, my knees gave way, and I fell right on my face in front of everybody. That about killed me. And they kind of had to carry me into a room and laid me there. So I wouldn't get up till the school let out. Then I got up and took off.
Yeah. Children can be cruel and not mean to be, can't they?
Oh, yeah, they can. That's why I wouldn't never... I didn't like younger people.
Now, you went to Ash Central High School. And where'd you go before that? Jefferson?
Healing Springs.
Healing Springs. Now, you finished high school. Where was this? At Ash Central?
No.
Did you go back the next year?
I went back to... I went the first day. And then I went to social service. I told them there's no way I could do it, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do that. And they said, well, if some of the kids will push your wheelchair around, we'll get you a wheelchair and let you go. I said, I don't think you'll be able to find anything. So you might as well forget that. And they said, well, you don't have to finish school then. I said, yes, I want to finish school. And I don't know if it's because I wanted to be, stubborn about it or what, but I was very definite about finishing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, but I finished through tutors from Boone. They sent tutors from Appalachian State. And then at the last year, I went to Beaver Creek, like maybe 1 or 2 days a week or something. Not all day, they tutored me up there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I got everything changed over to Beaver Creek. I thought I had it done, but I didn't, and so I got everything put over in Beaver Creek. So I graduated from that.
You graduated from Beaver Creek. So you really just went to Ash Central, what, 1 year?
Yeah.
And then you were tutored and finished at Beaver Creek.
I was tutored at different places.
Daycare center, was that part of your tutoring?
Mm-hmm. And some I got at home, and just different places.
You were determined to finish your high school. Now, how did you find out that you had Friedreich's ataxia?
Somebody let slip. Well, no, this doctor come out and told me.
Now, where was he?
Dr. Baldwin Smith in Baptist.
In Charlotte?
Winston. He said, you've got Friedreich's ataxia, and it will never get better, but it won't get no worse. You're stabilized. And for some reason, I kept getting worse after that. And then I went to the doctor in Winston again for a checkup. And it was a different doctor, and she was looking at all over my arms and legs. She said, it's funny, you don't have no bruises and everything. With this kind of disease, you should have cuts and places all over you. And so we really pinned her down and asked her what she's talking about. She said it's deteriorating, and you'll get worse and worse and worse till you're no more. And so that's how I found out about it. And then I started checking books and finding as much to read on it as I could myself, because I didn't figure if a doctor wouldn't tell me the first time, he's liable to lie. No telling how many times. I wasn't taking that.
Well, you must have had some good helping hands along the way too, though, haven't you?
Yes, I've had lots of people help me. If I didn't, I wouldn't, have got as far as I have. There's a whole many people who'd take me all night to name them all. But
Any ones that stand out in your mind?
Well, there's Man Elder, and then there's you, and then there's Betty Fowler, and Joe Ward,
And Jean
Barker.
Jean Barber, she's been a sister to you, hasn't she?
Yes, or a mother. And she says she's my second mama.
I wanted to inject what we're talking about too, is you're living alone, You're living alone in a trailer here in housekeeping and seem to be having such a good time. Now, I believe you did take college courses through Appalachian State University too, didn't you, as much as you could?
Yeah. A summer session, really, that's all. Because I couldn't afford to do it, and that was paid through Upward Bound, the course that was a program at Appalachian. And it paid for that summer session. And I couldn't afford the rest of it. So.
You quit. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't go on and enroll as a full-time student. Friedreich's ataxia. I believe you told me there's one other patient in Ashe County with Friedreich's ataxia.
Well, now they found there's more of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm not sure why it's such a rare disease. I can't really figure out how they got here.
You're not
There's
related to any of them?
3 others.
3 others.
That I know of. Maybe another one, but I don't think so. Just those 3. And then one of them's got 4 kids, and I'm not sure, but I think they've got it too.
I think you have talked to me about wanting to go for a run in the woods or in the fields. you want to comment anything about how difficult it was to have to be stay put?
That was one of the hardest things to learn to do. You know, you can look outside and you think, well, I'd like to go walking there, see what kind, because when I was little, you know, I walked all over the place. I didn't like housework. I was more of an outdoor person. I liked to walk in the woods and pick flowers and walk across hills, you know, find berries and stuff, you know, and go swinging on trees, have ropes in them, and things, and that's the hardest. I think that was the hardest thing for me to learn not to do, because I wanted to so bad. And even when I had to have people lead me around, I'd have my little brother take me. You know, I'd say, hey, let's go for a walk. And now he even takes me camping. And I've got to get me a sleeping bag so we can go camping, you know. But he takes me camping on picnics, and he takes me
Your brother.
swimming. Yeah. He's 15 years old. He's my little brother to me. He's bigger than I am, but, you know.
You like to camp. Now he takes you have 2 wheelchairs.
Well, I've got 3, really. And they're everyone almost out of commission. And I've got to get a new one because this one's, the wheel's about to fall off. The seat's tore up.
Let's see. Now, I want to ask a question a little bit about the difficulty. Was it very difficult for your folks to adjust to what the bad news they had heard? Or was they pretty well, did they pretty well know that it was something pretty bad?
Well, I'm not sure about my father because he doesn't talk very much. He doesn't show his emotions. But I think it flipped my mother out. She didn't know what was going on. She believed what the doctors had said, you know. That, see, I wasn't with her when they told me that I'd keep getting worse. She was with me that time they said I would never get worse.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never get better, but I wouldn't get no worse. So she believed it. And then when I found out, I was going to the daycare center, and they had took me down yonder to the doctor because I passed out. And
You passed out at the daycare center.
Mm-hmm.
Was that when you found out what caused it? Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
But, well, I should explain. And so when they kind of cornered the doctor and asked about it. And they got all the news. So the next day, I said, okay, tell me, what were they talking about? I said, I want to know what's happening to me, not to you, not to that doctor, so tell me. And so they told me what it was. But they thought my parents should know. And so one of them went out to tell them. And my mother said, oh, no, she's going to get better. There's not that much wrong with her. She'll get better. You'll see. She wouldn't believe it. And I'm not sure how my father took it. You know, I never did. I think he just sat and took it. He's a real quiet person. He keeps things inside him. But it really knocked my mother over. For a while I was getting everything on me. I'd go home and say, well, I think I'll get me some milk, and I'd start to get me some. My mom would say, no, let me get you some, just sit down there. Or I'd say, well, I'm getting hungry, time to fix me a sandwich. Mom said, just sit down. What kind you want? I'll fix it. It was neat.
You were getting a royal treatment, weren't you?
Yeah, and I think I used her. And she finally got tired of it and figured out what I was doing. She said, do it yourself.
Oh, well, maybe doing it yourself has made you want to be independent. Is that right, Marty?
Yeah, it has. I learned when I was a kid that you've got to do things yourself because nobody else is going to do it for you. So I learned to do things like that. I'm not saying my parents didn't help me. They did, but they didn't think that much was wrong with me. Well, if they did, they didn't act like they did. They didn't act like they nutted till I found out. But usually I was left on my own to do what I want to. You know, like your family is right here and I'm right there. So, and I wasn't in with them. So I had learned to do things myself. If I wanted to play with dolls, I had to make my own. If I wanted to do stuff like that. See, most of the kids were boys and they could run, you know, and stuff. And I couldn't, so I didn't play with them. And if I wanted to talk with anybody, I had to, I'm not saying nothing good, but my mother and my grandmother were all, and for a little kid, you need other little girls to play with. Mother and your grandmother are very good substitutes to play dollies with.
No, that's for sure. Now, did you say for a while she just sort of pampered you a great bit? Then after she caught on to where, oh,
I don't know.
I mean, you said it, I didn't, but you were taking advantages of a good thing. Did she leave you alone in the house by yourself, or when they went somewhere, did they take you, or?
No, they didn't. They left me there a whole lot, in fact. You know, it was just so much trouble to get me loaded into a car and so much to get me out and get me in the house when they'd have all those groceries, you know. Man, they stayed put unless my little brother wanted to take me. And that's the only way I ever got to go. After I quit walking myself, I had to have somebody. I couldn't go unless my brother wanted to take me. Now I would ask him, and he'd just about take me, you know, wherever I need to go.
Now that's not your older brother, it's your.
No, my younger.
Did your older brother help you out a great deal?
Not at all.
He
My brother
just wasn't natured like your younger brother.
very different nature, a very different one. Yes. And in fact, I grew up and I kind of figured, well, if I didn't hate him, it was show my love. I mean, if he'd fell off the face of the earth, I could have done just as well without him.
Now, do you want this typed up, Marty? Or does it bother you?
You better not put that. I hate him, but I mean.
Well, now that you've overcome that, maybe we could say that at that particular time, that was your feelings.
Yeah, we didn't like each other.
It was yeah.
I didn't like him at all because I don't know. We were just so him and his friends, and I was different. There was something wrong with me, so I was something to be put in the closet, a skeleton in the closet, and they would never tell people that he had a sister because they say, "Oh, really? Who is she?" You know that kid that staggers around? That's her.
Was he pretty nearly your age?
I think he's 2 years older.
Sometimes it's harder if you're closer the same age. But now your little brother, he's always been. What makes him so sensitive, do you reckon, to the fact that
I don't know.
he's unusually so, isn't he?
Yeah. He's always helped me, and he's always, helped anybody that needs it. I think that he saw how other kids treated me, and, he just stand up